Hello and good morning. I am about to get ready for the day, and I thought that I would, because I went away recently. I've been sort of went away recently in a lot of videos because I did go away recently. And my life is just not that interesting that, when I go away recently, stuff happens. And one of those things is my travel makeup that I keep permanently packed. And I was away for about a week, which is sort of a good chunk of time for me to sort of use everything that I had and then just that I have, and then decide if I liked what I had and if I wanted to, refresh. And I think I want to refresh and sort of switch things up a bit, because I wasn't crazy after using the same things every day for a week about what I had. And I do like to keep my bag, this is it, permanently packed, because quite often we would do like a day trip away, or a 2-night trip away, when hubby has to go into the city for work. And because of where we live, we usually would go in the day before, sort of do some stuff, and then the next day hubby would do his work thing, and then we would either come straight home or catch up with my parents and then come home, that kind of thing. So it's easier to have something permanently packed, and then that I know I can just grab and pack really fast, because when I'm just packing for an overnight trip, I don't want to spend a couple of hours trying to think about what I want to do. So I want stuff that I know will work. I have everything in here. I am going to use what I have today while I get ready, and then just kind of talk through what I have. It probably will take a while because I'm wordy and I ramble a lot, and this intro is already almost 3 minutes. And I'll use my brushes as well. And it's old, it's manky, I've had all of this for a long time, and it's just what it is. It's real life. I try to be authentic about sort of what I do. But so this is a really old, Michael Todd. It's what is it? An old, I think they're still around, skincare brand with like natural beauty products. They were actually quite nice, but I don't think they're selling a lot of skincare anymore. Oh, it's a bit of a mess. So I'll show you. Everything goes in here because it's a fairly big bag. You open it up, and that's my perfume roll, which I can smell. Did something spill? I think it's this. This one is always the culprit. This is the Kat Von D Saint, and it has a tendency to just leak a little bit, even though I've reinforced it with some plumber's tape. So, but it does smell nice. And I do have a video that I have filmed and should have uploaded already about my perfume travel brush roll. So I'm gonna put that aside. And then I have my gray headband, which I am going to wear, but I'm just gonna sort the hair out a little bit. There should be in here, there should be a hairbrush. She says digging for it. And these are all the brushes I travel with. I don't end up using every single one, so I might kind of cull through that a little bit too, because, there was a time when I packed this when we were away for like a couple of months, because we haven't in the last couple of years for various reasons, go to the US to visit hubby's family, his parents, now just his mom. And we would stay generally 6 weeks, sometimes 8 or 9 weeks. And so that's kind of being away a lot longer. So I'm going to put my headband on. I have this in here permanently because then it just means that I don't have to scramble and forget that I need a headband and things like that. And I just like to keep stuff out of my face when I'm getting ready. So what do I have? I do have a lip balm. This is the Mario Badescu Lip Wax. It's rose scented, which I quite like for a lip balm. And I'm starting to re-like again for perfume, so there's that. A little bit of lip balm. I will keep that. And let's see. I have a sponge. I have wet this sponge. I use this for contour, but I don't actually have a cream contour in here, so I don't even know why I have this in here. So I might take that out. And I have this sponge, which I use for foundation. And what do I have in here by way of primer? I was using this, so I'll keep using this actually. This is my travel primer. And I pulled it out because I want to use it up, because I've had it for a long time, since early 2023. And it's a good primer. This is it doesn't pump much out, even though it looked like I was pumping a lot. The Max Factor 3-in-1 face primer or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. They do still sell it at Priceline, I think. I think my Priceline carries it. I recently saw an end cap with Max Factor stuff, and I do really like the Max Factor makeup, but it's hard to find. So I'm going to use that because I'm trying to just use that teeny tiny little bit up. And this is nice. I'm not going to repurchase it, but I would if I needed another primer and I didn't have anything else. So that's the primer. I do have this Becca Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. And you can tell this is old because Becca has not been around for a while. I think they shut down around about the beginning of the pandemic, like several years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So they actually are very underrated when it comes to their skin or their face products. I have some of their foundations, which I quite like, so I might crack into those as well. I'm just going to put everything that I'm putting back in here off to the side. So on the foundation front, I have two. I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect that I put in a little tube like that because I'm not going to carry that giant tube. And this will last a really long time because you really don't need much. I think this is a 10 ml bottle, I think. Or is it a 5 ml bottle? I'm actually not sure, honestly. But that's my Too Faced Peach Perfect, which I tend to wear more as an everyday foundation. And then I have the Estée Lauder Double Wear. I wear this in the shade Ecru 2NW. I'm not sure. It's called Ecru. And this is fantastic for something that you want, which is really bulletproof and long wearing. And so I'm going to keep that in here. I love this stuff. This is really, really good. The only thing is you have to be careful not to overuse it. Because if you use too much of it, it can start to look very thick and makeup-y and foundation-y. So go with a light hand. And it covers beautifully. Yeah, so I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect. I am going to use this today. And I have been using this stuff for like a week. So I know how all of this works. And I know it looks like Oh, Deanna, you're pumping so much out. I'm not actually. These little bottles, when you pump, like, not much comes out at all, which is actually good because everything is very, very nicely controlled. I should have a wipe. I'm working my way through these. They're okay. These are the Kids Goat Bamboo Wipes in the lavender and orange scent. I like orange. I'm not crazy about lavender, so I bought a bunch of different wipes because I like to use them for my, you know, removing makeup and when I get dressed and things like that. But I was finding that the ones I was using from Aldi that I liked the most, or that I had gotten at that time, I didn't like the texture, and it ripped really easily. So I went on this, like, try a whole bunch of different types of wipes thing to find the perfect texture. These are all right. I don't mind them, but I have discovered another one in Aldi, which I like better, called the water wipes. And the texture of those is really, really nice, and they're very affordable. The ones I don't like are their premium extra thick ones, and they're horrible because they rip. I don't get it. But anyway, so put that back, put these here. So that's what's in here. I did, when I came back, add a contour powder because I discovered while I was away that I needed a contour powder and I didn't have one. What have I done with the sponge? Oh, there it is. So I did add this in, but I'm not going to wear that today because I don't need contour. But that's the contour that I'm adding in. And it's the Judy Doll, which it's a C Beauty brand. And I believe it or not, I really like it. I've discovered that Judy Doll is actually quite a nice C Beauty brand, and the quality is good, and it works well. And this color works for me. You know, if you watched any of my older videos where I'm just lamenting the fact that they discontinued NYX HD Blush and Taupe, which was my all-time favorite, what do you call that, contour color, even though it's a blush. Yeah, sorry. I like that. That is nice. And this is going to be helpful too because it'll show what I don't use, and then I'll pull it out, and then I will have less stuff in my travel bag. I did put in some just in case things, and I was finding that I didn't love the just in case things. I have darkness, like a little dip here that is always looking dark and shadowy. I'm thinking I might start putting some concealer in there to brighten it up. Oh, nose is a little sniffly. Okay, on the concealer front, I have just this one, which is a Bourjois anti-cerns. I assume that's a French word. Blur the Lines concealer. It's kind of manky. I got this in Cambodia. I don't even know, and this is in the color 02 Beige. They don't carry Bourjois here in Australia anymore, but I love the brand. I think I still have a couple of their foundations. They're really, really good. And it's a stick concealer. It's not too thick. It works well. I like it because it's not drying, surprisingly. I'm going to put some here and see if that helps. That's a first for me, concealer there. So you see how it's dark? And I've got the concealer there, but you see how that's just a bit dark? Yeah. So Anyway, I like this. I actually used up an entire tube when I was in Cambodia. Because all I really used when I was in Cambodia was concealer and powder, because it's so hot in Cambodia that there's just no point putting on foundation. It'll just melt off you. So all I did was just, always did was just a little bit of concealer on my cheeks on the redness and around my nose. And powder. And that was it. And I did that for an entire year. And I used up 2 of the NYX. It was my all-time favorite powder, like compact powder to pressed powder to. It was the NYX. It was black. Do I have another one? No, I don't. Yeah, I'm out of it. It was the NYX. I don't remember the name. Sorry. I'm thinking, and I don't remember the name. I might have their foundation. Maybe if I can pull out the foundation. No. No. Nope. Sorry. Oh, hang on. There it is. This one. NYX Stay Matte but Not Flat. The powder, the pressed powder, is phenomenal. I think it's discontinued because, or maybe it's just discontinued here in Australia because I cannot buy it anywhere anymore. And I was devastated when that happened because I love that powder. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up the eyebrows a little bit and get the foundation off there. I'm not the tidiest. Okay, so on the powder front, I have this Jane Iredale. You can see how manky that is. I've had this forever. It's a pure pressed base SPF 20 pressed mineral powder in light beige. This stuff is amazing. It is, so I'm going to start dipping into my brushes now. And then everything that is left in here that I don't use, I'll just, I guess, get rid of. I mean, not get rid of, but pull out. It looks like this. It's a mineral powder. Okay, and we've heard me say I don't love mineral powder, but it's the Nude by Nature one that I don't like. This one is amazing, and it looks so nice on the skin, especially once it's settled and, you know, it's kind of like had time to warm up, because they do say that with mineral powder, certainly this one anyway, you know, and I've been using this for years and years and years. It has to warm up with your skin, and then it kind of melds in and it looks beautiful. This actually offers a lot of coverage. So if I were to use, hi darling, say hello to Echo.
Hello, you're supposed to get ready.
I am getting ready. Yeah, so if I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it does offer a lot of coverage. And if I were to use like a denser brush and like really buff it into the skin, it's supposed to function like a powder foundation. And it is very nice, but I like to use it to set. No rhyme or reason. I had it and I threw it in my makeup bag, and it's just kind of stayed in here. And because I don't use it that frequently, it lasts a long time. I have to be careful that I don't drop things and start breaking things too. On the eyebrow front, I have the Soap and Glory Archery Volume Boost Brow Fiber Gel. Wow, that is a long name. In the color Talk of the Brown. And once this is used up, I expect that I will switch it up to it's very intense. And I find that I don't have the kind of control I have over it. But once this is used up, and this seems to be never ending, I will switch over to the DIY stuff that I've got, and then I will use that. But this is, look, it's intense. And I'm sorry I'm not doing this while looking in the camera, but I just, I have to be so careful because this can get out of control really, really, really fast. And I do need to tidy that bit up. So that's the eyebrow. And I have in here, what do I have? Where is it? She goes digging around. There we go. A spoolie and a eyebrow brush.
Definitely keeping the new air fryer?
Yes, I think so. Actually, hang on to the boxes until after today. Sorry. So, yeah, I'm just gonna tidy that up. I wonder what time it is. I have no idea what time it is. Hubby's getting impatient because we have errands and stuff to do. So, yeah, I do that to kind of brush it through. And then I do have a pencil to fill in the sparse areas, which is usually around here. I don't know why. I always seem to miss that spot. I tidy up the tail a little bit. This is the Models Prefer Retractable Brow in, I don't even know what color, ash. And it's nice, actually. I really like it. So and that's why I kind of added it into my travel kit, because I wanted something I knew I would like and that I would enjoy using. And yeah, I kind of tidy up that bit that is missing. And that little bit there, so it doesn't look so wonky. Yep, kind of, sort of. I should hurry up a little bit because I have an impatient husband waiting for me to do other errands. Okay, and then on the concealer front, I have two of these. The MAC Pro Longwear and the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I've just put them in these little travel things, and that breaks. So I'm just going to chuck it out. And what am I going to use today? I'll use the Tarte Maracuja. I keep them both. I kind of just grab whatever I have. And I really only use this concealer for like this little eyebrow bit here. But because this is pretty intense, unlike the Urban Decay crayon one that I use all the time, I do have to blend it out a little bit, and I'm not actually sure if I have a brush for that. No, I don't. So I should grab one to include. This will do in the bag. So I just need to blend it out a tiny little bit, and it'll settle. And then on the eyeshadow front, I did recently, for this trip, add an eyeshadow primer, which I didn't have before. So that was good. And I've got this that I use as an eyeshadow brush. It's an old Real Techniques. I don't even know what kind of a brush it is. And this is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It's the same as the one I use every day in my other pot. And because I don't like the squeezy tube, I've put it in a pot. And this is an old Tarte gel eyeliner pot. So that's what she did. Okay, then for eyeshadow, I have mostly been using this NARS Summer Unrated. It's an old compact. I think I got it over Christmas a few years ago, and it's got Orgasm X and Casino, and it's a little bit deeper than your regular NARS Orgasm, and the bronzer is sort of very warm. I use this as eyeshadow, so I'm just going to grab an eyeshadow brush. I have the blush here, but I didn't use this blush at all during the last trip because I had brought along my Milk Jelly Tint sample to use, and I pretty much just used that the whole time while I was away, which I sort of depotted in here, that little red bit there. And I adore that stuff. That stuff is so good. So when I eventually use up, I know I say that every time, when I eventually use up the sample, I will get a full size. I haven't decided what color to get yet, but probably that one, which is a reddy kind of a color. It ends up looking sort of like pinky peachy on my cheeks, which I really like. So that's that. And then I have this, which is the Essence Bloom Baby palette. It looks like this. And I have been using this color here to blend out my eyeshadow. But the thing is, this is a whole palette. And I actually didn't use this entire palette at all. So I'm thinking I might look for, you know, a color similar to that, or similar to that camel color that I use all the time from Ulta, to blend out my eyeshadow, and just keep like a single eyeshadow in there to blend, because that's really all I use. And I'm just, you know, I'm away, I'm traveling, I really don't need anything, you know, a lot of variety, and I don't get that bored while I'm with my makeup while I'm away, because the whole aim is to just more look polished, look put together, and then off we go. You know, we're not trying for makeup of the year here. It's just let's look presentable, and you know, that's good enough. That is not blending well. I've still got that line there that I'm not terribly happy with. I wonder if I can just... I'm just using the eyeshadow brush that I put the bronzer on. I very often do use bronzer for eyeshadow because I tend to just do these, what they call one shadow looks. It'll have to do. So I think I'm going to switch this one out. So I'm just going to put that over there. I have a pink blush in case I was wearing something that was more pinky bluey, but I never used it. So I'm going to take it out. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's just, it's sort of more for like a cool tone. Oh, I have this. I wonder, how that would look. I wonder how that would look to blend. I must have put this one in as a contour and then forgotten about it because it's so teeny tiny. Okay, it's a little too dark. I think it's a little too dark to blend out eyeshadow, but I might have to play with it a little bit more and decide, because it does really look quite nice. I don't know. I actually quite like this. See, this is helpful for me. Probably boring for you because I'm, you know, I don't know. But anyway, so that's the eyes. That's what I have left. I do have a lip gloss or another lip balm. I think this is a Huda Beauty one called the Silk Balm. This is actually nice, so I will keep that because I do pull it out and use it every now and then. And this is my night lip balm, which is basically just lanolin cream, which I just slather on, which I will have to, I'm going to have to refill that. So I'll keep that out. And then I have my Hourglass, which I use as a finishing powder all over when I'm done. And this is just a mini, and it is in the color Diffused Light. I actually love Ethereal Light for that, but they discontinued that color. I do not know why, and this was the closest I could find to that, so I'll keep that. I have an eyeliner. I taped it because it broke, and that's just if I want to do eyeliner for something a little bit more intense, if we're going out at night or something like that. So that is pretty much it. Oh, and a lip color, which is very similar to my Everyday Red, in case I forget to pack a lip product. So I'm going to, I have no idea what to do with my cheeks. I'll just use the Orgasm X in here. This is my e.l.f. complexion brush. I have one that I use every day and one in. I have to be careful with this Orgasm X. I can go to town with Orgasm, but the Orgasm X can be quite intense. So, and I do like it, but I just have to be careful I don't overdo it, because I have done that before. But it's a really, really pretty color. So, yep, that'll do. And then I have this brush, which I normally use with this. I'm just going to give it a little blend. The Hourglass finishing powder. But I'm just going to give that a little bit blend. I'm in a hurry now because I have a grumpy husband. And I'm just going to put this on, which is a Juicy. It's a C Beauty brand in the color 704. It's a deeper red than my Everyday Red, but it's close enough. And it's a similar kind of texture. It's one of those glossy, lip stainy, tinty type things. And I have no idea the name because it's all in Chinese and I don't read Chinese. I speak it. I do speak Chinese. I just don't read it. Okay, so that's going back in. Everything else is going back in. This has been a good exercise for me. Might not have been very interesting for you, but it was a good exercise for me. And so that's everything that I'm keeping in here. Oh, yes. The sponge. The perfume. I'm taking these two out. And I'll think about whether I add a smaller palette or something else back in here. And I will try to find something that is this color that I can blend with for my eyeballs. So that is it. I will keep this out to dry, and all of that goes back in. It's actually a little emptier. I don't know how that's possible, but it is a little emptier. So I'll do that. I'm gonna, a bit of a mess. And all of this I haven't used. Well, this I use for cleaning things. I'll pull that out. I have a little bottle that I use just for water. I keep that. Brush cleaner. But the rest of, oh, spatula. I will keep that. But everything else I have not used. If I contour, I will use this, so I will keep that. Maybe keep one extra eyeshadow brush and one extra blending brush, and I do need a brush for the eyeliner, but everything else I don't need. So everything else can go. And that's it. I will keep the hairbrush because we do need a hairbrush. I use the, oh, it doesn't have, oh, there it is. The Lady Jane hairbrush. I really like it. There's something about this hairbrush that detangles, but look how smooth it makes my hair look, which I really, really like. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And that's it. Okay, I am done. I have to go. And thank you so much for bearing with me and listening to me ramble on for almost 40 minutes about my travel makeup, which may or may not be of interest to you, but I had fun, right? That's okay. Okay, that's it. I don't have anything else. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.